Thank you, press. Thank you. No, thank you, press. Thank you. Thank you, press. Thank you.
First, Biden lied about being the tough guy with Vladimir Putin. Now, he is lying about China. The reality is that CCP officials obliterated and pulverized America's Secretary of State and National Security Advisor at Alaska. However, in the official transcript of the US government detailing all that happened in the meeting, the portions where China thrashed Biden's minions are missing. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Sanbir Singh, and in this video we'll tell you how the Biden administration is showing early signs of turning America into a totalitarian autocracy. US President Joe Biden, contrary to his promises that his administration will remain transparent in the good times as well as the bad, has taken to hiding the extent of humiliation caused to the US by China during the Alaska dialogues. Much like how the septuagenarian has been going around the town for the past 10 years, claiming that he was the tough guy during the 2011 meeting with Vladimir Putin in Moscow, which we now know to be a complete lie, the Biden administration also seems to be lying about all that transpired in Alaska with China. Multiple journalists have pointed out that the Biden administration is covering up the full extent of the scolding it received from China's top communist officials. In an attempt to hide the reality from Americans and the world at large, the Biden administration has also omitted several minutes of the meeting in which it was being magnificently thrashed by China. Among the omissions seen in the official transcript of the meeting released by the Biden administration was the sequence when Yang Jiechi, the director of the Central Foreign Affairs Commission Office of China, was seen wagging his fingers at Secretary of State Antony Blinken and NSA Jake Sullivan while asking them aggressively, "Why is the US afraid of the presence of reporters? You don't need to be afraid of the presence of reporters, do you? Didn't you believe in democracy?" Yes, you heard that right. And the Biden administration thinks that Americans are such a passive citizenry that they would not notice such borderline abuse of their top-ranking officials by the Chinese. By trying to omit this portion from the official transcript, Biden would have thought that he would continue perpetuating the lie that the US talked tough with China in Alaska, when in reality it was cornered by the communists throughout. Chinese Communist Party tyrants were given a free pass to intimidate the Biden administration and its representatives. This was when the US side asked for the meeting hall to be vacated by the media, giving the Chinese an opportunity to cow down America for its democratic ethos. The meeting commenced with opening remarks by Antony Blinken and Jake Sullivan earlier, followed by Yang Jiechi and Wang Yi making their statements. Yang, however, used the opportunity to sermonize the United States with a monologue spanning several minutes in complete contestation of all laid diplomatic norms. So, naturally, Antony Blinken asked for the press to stay in the room while he responded to the tremendously lengthy preaching given out by Jiechi to America. After the said meek response, the US side asked for the press to leave the hall. This agitated the Chinese side, and Yang Jiechi went on to threaten the United States with aggressive gesticulation. Yang warned his American counterparts of dire consequences for their actions, saying, "History will prove that if you use cutthroat competition to suppress China, you will be the one to suffer in the end." Again, this remark of Yang Jiechi nowhere features in the official transcript released by the Biden administration, further proving how a massive cover-up is underway to alleviate the humiliation caused to America by the CCP on its own soil. There most definitely must be several other omissions as well, which have not caught the eye of the media and the public, but which, in due course of time, most definitely will. Apart from reminding the United States of the virtues of democracy, despite being a totalitarian communist dictatorship itself, China also went on to tell the Biden administration that it has no right to corner the CCP over its human rights abuses in Xinjiang, Tibet, Hong Kong and across the Chinese mainland. This is because, according to Yang Jiechi, the United States itself slaughters black Americans. Yang chastised Blinken by saying, US has human rights problems, a long history of killing of blacks. You must be wondering about the jaw-breaking response the American side would have given to the Chinese following such a brazen and false accusation, right? However, all that the Secretary of State could say was, "We are not perfect." This, by all stretches of the imagination, is an abject surrender by the Biden administration before China, a country that has made concentration camps for Uyghur Muslims. Only a day ago, TFI had reported how China was able to completely corner the Biden administration by raising the issue of Black Lives Matter agitations in order to prove that a large section of Americans did not believe in American democracy. The Democrats have been defending BLM for the longest time possible, referring to it as an organic movement stemming from the alleged systemic racism prevalent in the USA. As such, when China turned the movement into a fight for democracy, the Biden administration fell short of words, as was clearly visible. In order to save itself from severe domestic backlash, the Biden administration has resorted to conveniently skipping the parts of the meeting in which it was thrashed by China and not mentioning the same in the official transcript. Joe Biden is not new to omissions and lying. In 2011, when Putin snapped off the lights of their meeting venue in Moscow and shut off Biden's microphone, Biden returned home and falsely claimed that he was the one who cracked the then Russian Prime Minister open. Yet, in a free world, the totalitarian American administration must realize that the truth has a funny way of always coming out.